Hey, welcome back to the Beyond Words podcast. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Jessica. Hi, everyone. So happy you are here today.
Jess, I have a confession.
Already? We just started.
I know, but it is relevant. I have a gym membership.
Okay, that sounds healthy.
I have had this gym membership for 7 months.
7 months. Good.
I have been to the gym 4 times.
4 times in 7 months?
4 times in 7 months. I am paying every month for a place I almost never go.
You are basically donating money to the gym.
A very generous donation every single month without fail.
And do you feel guilty?
Every time I see the payment leave my bank account, yes. Every time.
And do you go after you see the payment?
I think about going, very seriously, for about 10 minutes.
And then?
And then I make a cup of tea and sit on the sofa.
The classic. Daniel, this is such a relatable story.
Is it? Just me?
It is absolutely not just you. And today, this is the perfect topic for us.
Going to the gym in English.
Because the gym is something so many people talk about. I need to go to the gym. I started a new workout. I skipped leg day.
Skipped leg day. We will explain that.
We will explain everything. All the gym vocabulary, all the real phrases, all the honest stories.
From 2 very imperfect gym goers.
Very imperfect. Before we start, please like this episode, subscribe to Beyond Words, and share it with a friend who also has a gym membership and barely uses it.
They are everywhere.
They are the majority, actually. Let's go.
Okay, let's start with the basics. What is a gym?
Daniel, everyone knows what a gym is.
Humor me, because in English there are different words for the same place.
Oh, true. Okay, tell me.
A gym, short for gymnasium, is the place where you go to exercise, to work out.
Workout. That is a very common phrase. To work out means to exercise. I worked out this morning. I need to work out more.
Yes, work out as a verb and a workout as a noun, the exercise session itself. I had a great workout. My workout was 45 minutes.
Workout, verb. Workout, noun. Got it.
And in British English, the gym. In American English, sometimes the gym, sometimes the health club, sometimes the fitness center.
Health club sounds very fancy.
Very fancy. Like there is a swimming pool and a smoothie bar.
Is there a smoothie bar?
Sometimes, the fancier ones. But most gyms are just a big room with equipment.
Equipment. The machines and weights and things you use?
Yes, equipment means all the tools and machines. The treadmill, the weights, the bikes.
Treadmill. That is the machine where you walk or run, but you do not go anywhere.
Yes, the treadmill is a moving belt that you walk or run on, like running but in one place. In American English, sometimes called a running machine.
Running but going nowhere. Very philosophical.
Very. And next to the treadmill, the exercise bike or stationary bike, a bicycle that does not move.
Also going nowhere. The gym is very committed to going nowhere.
All that effort, no movement. And the rowing machine, where you sit and pull handles as if you were rowing a boat.
And the cross trainer, or elliptical in American English, the machine where your legs go in an oval movement.
Oval, like an egg shape, and your arms move at the same time.
I like the cross trainer. It feels like running, but my knees don't hurt.
Low impact.
Low impact means easier on your joints, your knees, your hips, less pressure.
Yes, good for people who find running painful.
Which is me.
Me too.
Okay, now the weights area, because this is the part of the gym that many beginners find scary.
Scary. Yes, the weights area.
Why is it scary?
Because it's usually full of very confident people who know exactly what they're doing, and you walk in not knowing anything and everyone looks at you.
Do they actually look at you?
Probably not, but it feels like they do.
Everyone is too busy looking at themselves in the mirror.
That is very accurate. Okay, weights vocabulary. A dumbbell, the small hand weight. You hold one in each hand.
Like the little ones you see people lifting.
Yes, they come in different weights, from very light to very heavy.
And a barbell, the long bar with weights on each end, right?
Yes, a barbell, much bigger than a dumbbell. You use it for exercises like squats and bench press.
Bench press. What's that?
You lie on a bench, a flat padded seat, and push the barbell up from your chest. It works your chest muscles.
That looks very impressive in films.
Very impressive. And in real life, very heavy. And a rack, the structure that holds the barbells and dumbbells.
And a kettlebell, the round weight with a handle on top.
Yes, like a small cannonball with a handle. Very popular now.
And resistance bands, the stretchy rubber bands for exercising.
Yes, very portable, very versatile. You can use them anywhere, not just the gym.
I have resistance bands at home. They live under my bed,
Under the bed.
where all home exercise equipment eventually lives.
The graveyard of good intentions.
Exactly. The dumbbells, the yoga mat, the resistance bands, all under the bed, waiting.
Waiting patiently.
So patiently.
Okay, let me tell you about my most embarrassing gym moment, because I have many.
Oh, yes, please.
So, one of the 4 times I went to the gym, I got on the treadmill, very confident. I pressed the start button. The belt started moving.
Good start.
I started walking. Then I wanted to go faster. I pressed the button to increase the speed.
Yes.
I pressed it too many times, very quickly.
Oh, no.
The speed went from a comfortable walk to very fast running in about 2 seconds.
Were you ready to run?
I was absolutely not ready to run. I had to grab the handles immediately and hold on while my legs tried to keep up.
Holding on for your life on the treadmill.
For about 15 seconds, which felt like 15 minutes, in front of many people.
Did anyone help you?
One very kind person at the next treadmill pressed the slow down button for me.
A hero.
A complete hero. I said thank you about 6 times, and then I left the treadmill immediately and went to the water fountain.
The water fountain. To hide?
To hide and to recover my dignity.
Your dignity? How long did that take?
About 10 minutes. And then I went back and I used the treadmill again, more carefully this time.
That is actually brave.
Necessity. I had paid for the gym. I was going to use it.
4 times in 7 months.
But with full commitment each time.
Full commitment. Okay, my turn. My gym story.
Tell me everything.
So, last year, I decided to take a group fitness class at the gym.
Group fitness class? What is that?
A class where many people exercise together with an instructor at the front who tells you what to do.
Instructor, the person who teaches the class and demonstrates the exercises.
Yes, and there are many types of classes. Yoga, Pilates, spin class, Zumba, HIIT.
HIIT, H-I-I-T, high-intensity interval training. Very fast, very sweaty.
Very sweaty, which is the class I chose.
Why HIIT?
Because I thought I want results fast.
The classic beginner mistake.
The classic beginner mistake. I had never done HIIT before. I did not know what to expect.
What did you expect?
Something energetic, some jumping, some music. Fine.
And what was it actually like?
Daniel, I thought I was going to die.
That intense?
That intense. In the first 5 minutes, I was completely out of breath.
Out of breath means you cannot breathe normally. You are breathing very hard and fast.
Very hard. And sweating enormously.
Sweating, your body producing moisture through your skin because of the heat and effort.
Very unglamorous. And the instructor, very fit, very energetic, was at the front shouting, "Keep going, you can do it, push harder."
Motivating?
Terrifying. And around me, other people were keeping up, and I was just trying not to fall over.
Trying not to fall over is a valid fitness goal.
My only goal at that moment. And I finished the class, just about. I sat on the floor at the end.
On the floor.
For about 3 minutes, just sitting, catching my breath.
Catching your breath means slowly breathing normally again after intense exercise.
catching my breath, and the instructor came over and said, "Great work. See you next week."
And did you go next week?
I went next week and the week after.
Really?
Yes, because here's the thing. After the class, when I was sitting on the floor, I felt incredible.
The post-workout feeling.
The post-workout feeling, like everything in my body was awake, like I had done something real.
That feeling is real. It's called an endorphin rush.
Endorphins, the chemicals your body releases during exercise, they make you feel happy.
Yes, exercise gives you endorphins, endorphins make you happy.
Very true, and very addictive.
The endorphin rush is why people become gym people.
Once you feel it, you want to feel it again.
And again and again.
Until you become the person in the HIIT class telling the beginners, keep going.
The cycle continues. Okay, let's talk about some very common gym phrases, things people say all the time about exercise.
Yes, because gym vocabulary comes up so much in conversation, especially on Monday mornings.
Monday morning gym talk, very common.
How was your weekend? Good. I hit the gym on Saturday.
Hit the gym, great phrase. To hit the gym means to go to the gym. Very casual, very common.
I hit the gym this morning. I want to hit the gym later. Very natural.
And the opposite, I skipped the gym.
Skipped. To skip means to miss something on purpose or without doing it.
I skipped the gym yesterday. I skipped my morning run.
And skip leg day, the famous gym phrase.
Skip leg day. Leg day is the day you exercise your legs, squats, lunges, leg press.
And skipping leg day means you avoid it because leg workouts are very hard.
Very hard. And the result of always skipping leg day? Your upper body gets bigger and stronger, but your legs stay the same.
Very unbalanced.
Never skip leg day is almost a gym motto.
A motto is a saying that everyone follows or tries to follow.
Tries. And another phrase, to work up a sweat.
To work up a sweat means to exercise hard enough that you start sweating. I really worked up a sweat at the gym today.
And to push yourself. To push yourself means to try harder than is comfortable.
The instructor told me to push myself. I try to push myself a little more each week.
And personal best, or PB, the best result you have ever achieved for a specific exercise.
I set a new personal best on the treadmill today. That was a PB for me.
Very satisfying when you set a PB.
Very satisfying. And warm up and cool down. Very important.
A warm-up is light exercise at the beginning to prepare your body. Always warm up before you start.
And a cool down is gentle exercise at the end to help your body recover. Stretch after your workout, cool down properly.
Stretch, to make your muscles longer and more flexible by slowly pulling them.
I stretch for 10 minutes after every workout.
And if you do not cool down and stretch,
You feel it the next day.
you feel it the next day. Sore muscles, stiff legs, that feeling when you try to stand up and everything hurts.
The day after leg day.
The day after leg day is a very specific kind of suffering.
Very specific. Very real.
Okay, word tour time. Key gym and exercise words from today.
Yes, simple sentences, things you can say this week.
First, workout. Workout. To work out means to exercise. A workout is the exercise session. I try to work out 3 times a week. Or, that was a really good workout. I feel great.
I had a long workout yesterday. My legs are still sore today.
Next, treadmill. The machine at the gym where you walk or run on a moving built. I ran on the treadmill for 20 minutes. Or, I prefer the treadmill to running outside. The weather in Britain is too unpredictable.
The treadmill and I have a complicated relationship. Sometimes I love it. Usually, I do not.
Next, equipment. The machines and tools at the gym. The gym has a lot of equipment. Or, I do not know how to use all the equipment. I need help from a personal trainer.
I bought some home equipment, a yoga mat and some dumbbells. They live under my bed.
Next, out of breath. Unable to breathe normally because of exercise or effort. I was completely out of breath after the HIIT class. Or, I get out of breath walking up the stairs. I need more exercise.
I was out of breath after just 5 minutes of HIIT class, but I kept going.
Next, Endorphins, the chemicals your brain releases during exercise that make you feel happy and energized. Exercise releases endorphins. Or, I go to the gym for the endorphins. That feeling after a workout is amazing.
I did not believe in endorphins until I finished my first HIIT class. Then I understood completely.
Next, skip. To skip something means to miss it or avoid it. I skipped the gym yesterday because I was tired. Or, never skip leg day. You will regret it.
I skip the gym sometimes. I'm honest about it. But I always feel better when I go.
Next, personal trainer. A fitness professional who helps you exercise safely and effectively, sometimes called a PT. I worked with a personal trainer for 3 months. Or, a personal trainer can help you learn how to use the equipment correctly.
I want to get a personal trainer one day to learn how to lift weights properly.
Next, cool down. Gentle exercise done at the end of a workout to help your body recover. Always cool down after exercise. Or, I skip the cool down sometimes and I always regret it the next morning.
I used to skip the cool down. Then I had very sore legs for 2 days. Now I never skip it.
And last, hit the gym, a casual phrase meaning to go to the gym. I want to hit the gym after work today. Or, did you hit the gym this weekend?
I want to hit the gym more often. I'm working on it.
Me too. So, our words today: workout, workout, treadmill, equipment, out of breath, endorphins, skip, personal trainer, cool down, and hit the gym.
All very useful, all very real. Things you hear at the gym and in everyday conversation about exercise.
And all better than hiding at the water fountain.
Much better, although the water fountain is always a valid option. Okay, before we finish, can we give some tips for people who want to start going to the gym but feel nervous?
Yes, because I think many people feel nervous about the gym, especially at the beginning.
Very nervous. You don't know the equipment, you feel like everyone is watching you.
They're not, but it feels that way.
So, tip 1, go at a quiet time. Not Monday evening, not the first week of January.
January, the busiest time of the year. Everyone has a New Year resolution.
New Year resolution, a promise to yourself to do something different in the new year. My New Year resolution is to go to the gym more.
And the gym is absolutely packed in January.
Absolutely packed. Packed means full of people. No space, very crowded.
By February, much quieter.
Very sad, but very true. Tip 2, ask for help. Most gyms have staff who can show you how to use the equipment. Ask them.
Ask a member of staff or a personal trainer. Nobody expects you to know everything on day 1.
Nobody. Tip 3, start small. You don't need to go every day. 3 times a week is great. Even twice a week is a start.
Consistency is more important than intensity. Going twice a week every week is better than going every day for 2 weeks and then stopping.
Consistency, doing something regularly over a long time, more important than doing something perfectly once.
Yes, and tip 4, find something you enjoy, because if you hate the treadmill, you will avoid the treadmill.
And you'll sit on the sofa making tea.
Like me, yes. But if you enjoy a group class, you will look forward to it.
Find the thing you enjoy and do that.
And tip 5, don't compare yourself to other people at the gym.
Everyone there was a beginner once.
Everyone. Even the most confident, most fit person in the gym, they were a beginner once. They were nervous once. They held on to the treadmill handles once.
Maybe not, but the principle is right.
The principle is right.
Our question for today?
Yes, we want to know, do you go to the gym or do you exercise in another way?
Tell us in the comments. In English, I go to the gym and I love, or I don't go to the gym, but I...
Because exercise doesn't have to be the gym. Walking, running outside, dancing in your kitchen, yoga at home.
All valid.
All valid. All exercise, all good for you.
And if you have a gym story, good or bad, we want to hear it.
Especially the bad ones.
Always the bad ones.
And if this episode helped your English, please like, subscribe to Beyond Words, and share it with a friend who also says, I'll go to the gym tomorrow.
Every day.
Every day.
This was the Beyond Words podcast with Daniel and Jessica. Until next time.
Hit the gym.
Or don't.
But if you do,
don't press the speed button too fast.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Take care, and may your workouts be good and your cooldowns be long.